There was a child in the back seat that was yelling.
In the right place at the right time.
Immediately ran over there and dropped my mail in this lady's front yard and make sure the kid was out of
A mail carrier comes to a child's rescue.
Dropped my stuff in the front lawn and got her out of the vehicle first.
Tonight, he's opening up about an encounter he will never forget.
Still waiting for answers. DPD reveals new details in Sunday's police shooting in Lodo. Some of those injured are not satisfied with what they heard.
Denver citizens do not want to be collateral damage.
Plus, proof that it's not always what you do on the field that matters most.
It's not uncommon to have players here. This is their second home, to be just like Boys and Girls Clubs.
Tonight, a look at the Broncos' work in the community as they're honored with ESPN's Humanitarian Award.
A mail carrier on his usual route ends up delivering more than just mail. He delivers safety to a scared little girl.
Denver 7 first told you about this story last night at 10. The girl's mother passed out behind the wheel of her parked car over the weekend in Wheat Ridge. Her child inside the car with her.
Well, tonight is Denver 7 CB Cotton report. Thanks to that postal worker's quick thinking, that little girl is safe.
Sometimes an ordinary day gives us a chance to show up in an extraordinary way. Mail carrier Andrew Russell now knows all too well.
What really caught my attention was hearing a child's voice. There was a child in the back seat that was yelling.
Was the car off? It was still running?
That's Russell, captured on an officer's body camera. He had just spotted a car idling on the side of Fenton Street. What he saw and heard made him call 911.
The closer I got, I heard, "My mommy's dead." So immediately ran over there and dropped my mail in this lady's front yard and make sure the kid was out of the back seat first, and then checked on the mom. She was slumped over.
Wheat Ridge police say the mother had overdosed. By the time officers arrived, she'd woken up and she admitted to taking a fentanyl pill.
It was a fentanyl pill.
And the woman's 6-year-old daughter told officers about what she saw.
So I was in the back.
And she also spoke about who helped her.
And then the mailman came over here to me.
The mailman.
Dropped my stuff in the front lawn and got her out of the vehicle first.
But everyone involved, including officers, call him a hero.
I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful that he was there to help the child in this situation so that she had someone there that she can trust.
Yeah, it hit a chord a lot of different ways, but mainly in the sense that, yeah, anytime I hear a child's voice that sounds anything like that, it's pretty immediate.
Immediate action. Because sometimes what starts as an ordinary day introduces us to extraordinary people.
Just right place at the right time. I'm just doing my job.
There is no doubt the entire community is grateful for that mail carrier and his quick thinking. And get this, he's been on the job for less than 2 months. The girl's mother is okay. She now faces several criminal charges, including child abuse. In the studio, I'm CB Cotton, Denver 7.
Glad everyone's okay. Thank you, CB. New details revealed in Sunday's shooting by Denver police in lower downtown. Police now say a 6th bystander was injured when officers opened fire on a man the department says flashed a gun.
And more than 3 days after the shooting, we're getting our first look at still images from the body cameras these officers were wearing. Now, one image shows a suspect, Jordan Waddy, appearing to pull something from his jacket. DPD says 3 officers fired a total of 7 shots at Waddy, who was near a crowd of people who just got out of bars that closed. Now, those officers did not alert the crowd before firing. And Commander Matt Clark says the shooting justifies a review of DPD tactics.
Something go wrong. Yeah, 6 people additionally that shouldn't have been injured got injured that night.
Police say also today they released a still image of a handgun recovered at the scene. And according to an affidavit, 1 round was in the chamber. Police say there was no evidence Waddy ever fired a shot, and they also don't know if they'll be able to determine if those 6 people who were injured were shot or perhaps hit by ricochets or debris. Now, Waddy was shot, last update in custody at the hospital, and in the days since the shooting, we have learned that Waddy was in violation of his parole. The Department of Corrections has begun the process to send him back to prison.
Now, for at least 2 of the victims, they feel the police department press conference didn't answer questions they still have following the shooting. Denver 7's Rob Harris is live in Denver tonight. Rob, these 2 victims aren't the only ones still waiting for answers.
No, Ann, that's right. The victims who were hurt, they're wanting more answers from police. So are members of the community who are planning to protest at the Capitol tomorrow. We talked to a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. They're one of the groups that's putting on this protest. They're demanding the release of body camera footage from this incident. Now today, DPD did release that still image from the body camera footage, but they say they can't release the footage itself until it's been investigated completely. DSA says that's unacceptable.
So Denver has paid for these cameras that were supposed to turn on as the moment that a weapon was taken out of an officer's holster, and now we know that there isn't even that much body camera footage to begin with.
We also talked to two of the victims injured Sunday morning. They tell us they feel angry and disappointed that they were hurt by officers who were there to protect them.
The report came out that was the police. That's when a rise of questions came up. Why would they do this? Why would they shoot into crowded places? Are they even trained to do what they did?
We have a problem with our justice, with the people who are supposed to be protecting us.
Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin said DPD is a learning organization and they'll try to improve following this incident. Mayor Hancock released a statement this evening asking residents to have patience as the process takes place and they work to provide answers. Still, several groups say that's not enough and they're planning to protest on the steps of the Colorado State Capitol tomorrow at 6. Ann?
Rob Harris, thank you. And as the investigation continues, so does our coverage, and we will continue to push for answers. You can catch up on all of today's developments and watch today's full police press conference right now over at thedenverchannel.com.
Sports' most glamorous evening, the ESPYs. It was right here on Denver 7.
The entire Avs team, along with multiple Colorado athletes, were up for awards tonight.
Starting with Stanley Cup champs, the Avs nominated for the Best Team Award. Now, sadly, Avs fans, that ESPY went to NBA champs Golden State Warriors.
Avs defenseman Cale Makar was up for an ESPY of his own. The Norris Trophy winner was nominated for Best Championship Performance. Unfortunately, there was no love for the Avs tonight. That award ended up with LA Rams receiver Cooper Kupp for his heroics in the Super Bowl.
Nugget superstar Nikola Jokic also up for an ESPY tonight for Best NBA Player, but the two-time reigning league MVP can't win them all. Best NBA Player ESPY went to the Warriors' Steph Curry.
And you know, at 7-10 last year, the Broncos didn't have much to celebrate on the field, but it's really what the players do off the field that is worth celebrating.
The Broncos were this year's recipient of ESPN's Humanitarian Team of the Year award, recognizing their work in the community. And one of the places where the team's work is so very visible at the Broncos Boys and Girls Club.
Here is Denver 7's Bayan Wang.
I've met Peyton Manning, I've met John Elway.
Najee West can go on, dropping the names of Broncos players she's met.
I've met Justin Simmons, I've met Kenny, I've met Teddy Bridgewaters.
Her list of friends would make anyone jealous.
I've met PJ, I've met Cortland Sutton.
Friendships she's developed in her 10 years at the Boys and Girls Club in Montbello.
So we've been partners with the Broncos for 20 years.
For CEO Aaron Porteous, it's been 2 unforgettable decades of service.
And as you can imagine, we've got a lot of memories with them.
Outings with the team.
They were a part of all that.
Trips to the Super Bowl.
What a thrill for them to be a part of that experience.
But for her, nothing is as special as the relationship the Broncos organization has developed with kids like Najee.
It's special because for many of the kids we serve, they may not have a long list of positive adult role models in their lives.
It just made me think like, wow, this guy actually cares about all the kids at the club.
Najee is talking about Pro Bowler Justin Simmons, one of the players she knows best.
He's just like a big brother to me and a lot of the other kids at the Boys and Girls Club.
Beyond personal relationships, the Broncos cover every cost of this Boys and Girls Club, including memberships, so families can focus on bigger expenses and the kids can focus on what really matters.
They just inspire me to keep going. They've taught me that it's important to respect your community, respect the people around you, just because once you respect them, they respect everyone else, and it's important to have that respect throughout the community.
Now Najee works at the club where she's now the role model.
I look at people like the Bronco players that come through the Boys and Girls Club and I say, ooh, I may want to be like them in different ways.
And while she's met a lot of Broncos over the years, there's one more on her list.
Where you at, Russell? You got to come to the club and meet all the kids at the club.
Bayan Wang, Denver 7.
All right, you have been officially invited, Russell. And tonight's award wasn't the only big news involving the Broncos today. We are also learning more about when the team's record-breaking sale will become final. Sports anchor Nick Rothschild will have that coming up in sports.
One of the darkest days in Colorado.
I kept hearing the screams and like it hitting the bullets hitting the front of the scenes. The noise was just, it was just so much.
10 years since the Aurora theater shooting, and those who were there reflect on that fateful night.
I grabbed one of the officers there that had an unmarked car and I said, dude, just pull your car up. And we just started loading people in.
Wasn't quite as hot today, but things start to crank back up starting tomorrow.
Plus, lawmakers prepare for the final hearing into the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol.